Hi, my name is Louis Fred. Life before being homeless was happy, not too many sorrow moments, vacations, family gatherings, standing on a regular check cashing line with my paycheck, like everyone else out there. Did a lot of volunteer work from the community, did missionary work, was working a wonderful job of 23 years of cooking, which I dearly miss very much. Everything was moving along with the world. You know, my life was not good, but my life was better than what it was before I became homeless. How I became homeless? Well, after working so many years as a cook, I overworked my left arm, and I had a torn tendon. I got tendonitis. Still kept pushing my arm because didn't have any other way to go but only to cook. Just kept working. Well, made the hand worse. When I went to see the doctor tells me that I have to kiss the kitchen goodbye. Then a big question mark plays a role there in my life, because what was I supposed to do where I've been a cook for 23 years, I'm 45 years old, what do I do next? The economy is bad, you know, I have 2 felonies. I never thought this was gonna happen to me. At 45, it's kind of difficult to say, well, okay, I'm gonna go back to school and then jump back into the work line. Why do I say that? Because at the time, when I was living in my home, being able to pay my rent and be able to pay my food, the days seemed long. And I was living a wonderful life. At the time when I didn't have a job and I was living off my savings, then my days and nights were shorter than ever. And 30 days didn't seem like a lot of time, but it was, because the 28th day, I just started thinking, what am I to do next? What do I do? Then pride plays a role, ego plays a role. Oh man, I gotta go ask for help in a way where nobody would ever thought that I would ask for help. I feel embarrassed, you know, a grown man going back to family, going back to friends and explaining to them. Some of them could understand, but I didn't want to put myself through that. So living by myself, I couldn't pay for my rent. I paid my last month. My savings were running on low. I didn't have any food. I was living in York, Pennsylvania at that time, so I had to go back to New York City, where I'm from, and back to my mother's house and explain to my mom why I'm there. Well, like every mother, you know, she's gonna sympathize and say, okay, everything is gonna be all right. But everything was not all right with me. Why? Because I didn't see myself getting up in the morning every morning. I didn't see myself standing no more in the check cashing line. I didn't see myself no more being able to even buy myself the smallest thing that you could think of. Like, for example, an ice cream cone, a pizza. I couldn't do these things. These things became luxury in my life. You know, a slice of pizza for me was like maybe buying a $300 chain, gold chain. You know, it was difficult, you know. Then from there, I started couch surfing and experiencing sleeping this house, sleeping here, sleeping there. Then from the couch surfing, I found a friend and said, in Rhode Island. Now I'm back to a question mark in a city that I don't know anyone. So I'm saying to myself, what am I to do? I said, before the sun goes down, I must run and find as much as information to find where can I live? Where can I rest for that night? So I did. I found where I could stay. I stood in a shelter by the name of Emmanuel House. I stood there for a few days. Came to find out that where I was living was in a place where I never find myself in. Was in a shelter full of child molesters. A person like me living there. You know, I don't mind whatever lifestyle you may choose in your life is your lifestyle. But to me, that's not my lifestyle, so that's not supposed to be my surroundings. So I took advantage, walked down, found a place by the name of Crossroads, filled out an application, a well-known organization in Rhode Island. Looked up in the internet and seen their website, so many beautiful things, programs, links, connections, and networks they offer, and advertise. Well, let me take this back, that they advertise. Why I say that? Because when they gave me the opportunity of not being couch surfing and go to a shelter and have my own place. But let me ask this question. When you go to the shoe store and you buy yourself, whether it's some heels or some sneakers, the heels come with straps and the sneakers come with shoelaces. So if you're gonna rent me an apartment coming off the street, I expect for my apartment to have hot water and heat, because that's components that go with the contract. I shouldn't have to write a letter and ask you, can you please give me hot water? It should be there. You know I'm coming off the streets. You know what I've been through. Introduction to a shower is a key component for people coming off the streets, because it's grooming yourself and starting and beginning another life, and the life you had at one time. Well, moved in there, and they've promised many things. As days went by, I'm trying to figure out the system where I'm living in, but I just can't. It's so complex. And complex in another sense of a corporate complex mind. Complex in the sense of don't make no sense. It's just plain simple. Why should I have to be stressing every morning about hot water? Why do I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning where my appointment is at 11 o'clock in the morning? I gotta get up at 5 because there's no hot water past 6 a.m. And then the hot water don't come back to 6:30 p.m. During the process of that, I have to deal with being outside and being thankful, because I am thankful. Other people, instead of being with their nephews and grandsons, they want to make sandwiches and soups and come feed me as well as others. I am so thankful for that. And where I live, they don't take as much pride as the old lady or the gentleman that makes that cheese sandwich for me in the afternoon. When I open a cheese sandwich, I am so grateful. And just this cheese sandwich, a person that was able to buy himself a cheesesteak sandwich at one time. But I am grateful. I am grateful because there could be a worse situation. But during the course of that, I'm trying to figure out how can I fit in this system that's complex, and I can be a voice that can help and chop this giant. The giant is the corporate biggies running a business with something that's a humanitarian crisis. So I'm looking, because I'm a type of person, I walk around, I like to expunge information, I like to read bulletin boards, and stuff. I'm just like that. So I did that. Also, all of a sudden, I ran into a flyer from the collision. I read it. I said, wow, this is the stage that I belong in. This is the platform for me. So I said, I don't have hot water. I can speak here. I can voice. I can channel. Okay, my object is not to bash, but my object is to bring things to light without fear, which fear plays a role when you're homeless and someone gives you a place to stay. That person, I can understand, is afraid to complain because they might kick them out. I'm not that. I'm the raging bull for the homeless that's not afraid of nothing. And I'm not talking about using my fists. I'm not talking about using my words. I'm talking about using the pen, which is mightier than the sword. The hot water situation is on the run. My situation is 1 foot in and 1 foot out, because I can't say I fully have a home, because where I live, it's not adequate. It's not a home. Just because you put a roof over my head, don't say you give me a home. Give me a home that you have in your home. Hot water, nice, clean places, huh? Don't have me living like a pig and then go behind the scenes and say, we're running a great system down there. Thank you very much.
Wow.